Don't let those ideas rot in your brain, bruh. Anyway, so I was doing some research today, right? So the main question was, where exactly do we get funding when we have ideas?
So I watched this TikTok and it inspired me to then check out this website, innovationBridge.info. I think it's innovationBridge.info, and it's really cool website. Everything is great, and they're just encouraging you to either join the platform as an innovator, an entrepreneur, or an investor. And I was reading through this website and I was quite excited because of the ideas that came from the TikTok. This guy was basically saying, don't let your ideas rot. Check out this platform where you're able to then breathe life into the innovations that you might be harboring on the inside. There is a platform, there is a place for us to do this. It's a G20 presidential initiative. And so I was reading through this thing and I wanted to understand, okay, so what's the difference between the innovator and the entrepreneur? And for me, this was a case of saying, if you're the innovator, you don't necessarily want to start your own enterprise. You're passionate about creating new knowledge, processes, products, models, providing your skills as either a researcher or someone who who wants others to benefit from your intellectual property, and you're looking to license innovations in that way. Whereas if you're an entrepreneur, then you want to be your own boss, you want to start the business, you want to drive and recognize and be recognized for capitalizing on opportunities, transforming those opportunities into valuable enterprise for yourself, um, either starting it up from scratch or it being something that you can then enhance your existing business. So I'm like super excited. And I already know someone who I think would benefit from such a thing, right? And then I was exploring, okay, so tell me more about like the platform and what it offers. The digital platform includes things like if you're looking to build digital platforms, scalable solutions, connecting users to markets, and basically dealing with pain points and inefficiencies. Fintech, that's basically if you want to be a bank or in transactional spaces, particularly if you're serving underserved populations. Um, as long as you do that, of course, in a way that's going to be like secure, compliant with all regulations in that space, and scalable so that it's something that can then create multiple opportunities and jobs and stimulate the economy. Secure digital infrastructure, I think that's pretty simple and clear. It's about basically being safe in this new online world. Circular economy solutions, I think that's pretty simple and straightforward. Innovations for connectivity in terms of infrastructure development, being able to then broaden access to smart devices and things in the world of the Internet of Things. And then innovations around development. So these are solutions in agriculture, healthcare, education that improve productivity. So I'm looking at these different categories and I'm like, okay, so Hoise FM is pretty much a digital platform, not necessarily a fintech in terms of, I don't know if Hoise Bank is something that's part of the vision right now. IT, I'm not that guy. Circular economy, I can see kind of a bartering system or platforming and providing market support for people. Maybe further down the line, that's something that also could become an interesting way of looking at end to end solutions in terms of creating products and then also at the end of the process, getting rid of them, so to speak, kind of like gray water systems and things like that. Like imagine if you have a gardening service on the one hand and a gray water system um, collection business on the other. So those two things could work pretty well together. So I was like, okay, cool. So this is like kind of innovative. So how does one get involved? Today I realized that I deserve a new middle name. Dilulu Fatso, because I didn't expect these terms and conditions to be in this way. I have a very negative, visceral reaction to these terms and conditions. I feel like they are a fence impeding innovation. They are a fence or a gate or a high wall that's meant to protect current interests and keep the status quo. Yet it's called the innovation um, bridge. So shouldn't they be open to change? Shouldn't they be open to challenging the preconceived ideas that exist already? For example, they expect full compliance with all applicable legislation and policy. I understand it's government, they have that right to expect that you're following their laws and their policies, but because this is an innovation bridge, shouldn't they be providing bridging services to make you aware of the legislation, to make you aware of the policies once they've received your idea, to incubate that idea in a compliant way, and where those laws and those policies might have an issue, shouldn't there be a mechanism to say, actually, it is the legislation that is holding us back, or it is the policy that is holding us back? And so, because it's an innovation bridge, rethink the policy, rethink the legislation. It doesn't give that vibe right now, just reading it. Looking at the next one, it speaks to you must have protected the intellectual property appropriately. Again, who are you talking to? Who is this audience? Are these corporations that come with teams of lawyers where they've already got their trademarks in place, they've already got their intellectual property protections in place? I don't understand how you are expecting people, young people in particular, people who have a stake in the future, to come in already having all of this in place. And you make it a disclaimer for them to get the help that they need, instead of you providing exactly that, an innovation bridge, assisting people to get their intellectual property protected. It just feels so strange to me. Similarly, make sure that your information is accurate. I think that's fair. Make sure that it doesn't violate any legislation. So, of course, your business shouldn't be illegal and shouldn't infringe upon the intellectual property rights of any third party. And so, again, it feels like, in as much as this is meant to be an open, welcoming platform to say, come one, come all, let's hear what you have to say, let's find the solutions that we need to build the country, it feels exclusionary in that um, there are all these like preconditions to be like, no, we don't want you to come as you are. You need to come fit for purpose. You need to come already compliant, already conforming to all the rules and regulations that we have. And so I don't know where they expect to find innovators that are conformists. I don't know where they expect to find people who are trying to rethink these industries, rethink the way that we deliver business, the rethink the way that we conduct business, and yet be 100% compliant. Like, we're trying to break into this industry, siyayibanga le economy, and so it just feels like this is the opposite of that. It feels like this is more in line with trying to colonize young people's ideas and steal them. And to make that even clear, you'll see in other terms and conditions. So you must agree that you are not allowed to basically hold the Department of Science and Innovation, as well as small businesses, collectively liable for any breach. So they can fuck up, and you have to make sure that you are perfect from a legal standpoint, you are perfect from an intellectual property protection standpoint, but then they're not liable for any leaks, any breaches. And so it's just like, what is this and who is it for? And why was it designed the way that it's designed? Because it feels like you're just trying to extract ideas from young people and profit the people who already have the capital to basically implement all of this. And so you're not bridging any innovation, you're stealing intellectual property from people. It feels like that's what this is meant to do. And then you consent to them giving you feedback and making changes. And if you don't give them um, feedback on the changes that they've made within 2 weeks, again, it's like they're allowed to then just take your idea, change it however they see fit. If you're not responding within a 2 week period, which I'm not going to say is like completely unreasonable, but the idea is, this just feels so extractive. It doesn't give welcome. It doesn't give, come in, we're here to serve you. It feels like you are here to dance to our rules. for you to get the support that you need. The next one is on undertake and report promptly. I guess, yeah, that's part of this two-way communication that they expect, which I think that's a properly fair expectation. And then I allow them to submit this information for publication without any limitation on their social platforms for the sole purpose of promoting the platform and technology listed there. So literally, they can then take this information, use it how they see fit for their own ends. And so you're pre-agreeing to all of this. So why would they think that in this modern age, people are not going to see this and say, you're asking me to pre-colonize myself, to recolonize myself, to limit my rights up front as one of the terms and conditions for me to get the help that I need in this innovation bridge. Like, am I the one thinking about this wrongly? I'm going to be very interested to see how people see this, because I understand that there are laws in place and things like that. But when are we going to be able to challenge those laws and see where the opportunities lie in terms of then untangling things? Or, yeah, maybe I'm just too much of a devil's advocate. I acknowledge that parties may upload and remove information and technologies, that they are under no obligation to notify me if my materials are uploaded or removed. So again, it's just like, so you're shady. Why are you doing shady shit? And they can choose not to upload any of my materials. So I think that one is pretty fair. It's like, okay, cool. You didn't make it, you didn't make it. You're not worthy, you're not worthy. I think that makes perfect sense. And then I guess there's also the issue of, if you want to have your information removed, you have to have some communication with them, let them know, and then they have 2 weeks to respond. So I guess 2 weeks on the one hand is like, if they have any feedback and changes and amendments for you, you have 2 weeks to do that. And then on the other hand, if you, for whatever reason, decide to turn around and say, give me back my stuff, take my stuff off the platform, stop putting it on the socials, they have 2 weeks for them to be able to provide that kind of feedback. Yeah. But yeah, no, Dilulu Fatso, my initial reaction to reading these terms and conditions, maybe I woke up angry or something, but I was reading this and I just feel like it's not fit for purpose for the people that they're trying to serve. It's purely about protecting their ass. And isn't that just leaving people with the wrong impression and a bad taste in their mouth in terms of, I'm supposed to be seeking help and yet you're protecting yourself from me, the person that is come to you for help, for assistance? Aren't you supposed to be providing the bridging of where I am to where I'm going to be? You want me to be a finished product. You expect me to be a finished product. You are looking for people who are not like me, Dilulu Fatso. You're looking for people who are Mr. Compliance and Miss Conformity. These are the people that you're looking for, people who are going to tap dance to whatever tune, and yet you're expecting people who tap dance to whatever tune to be innovators. Like, make it make sense.
So you've got to go to the places where you think you should get help. You've got to walk the talk. Yeah. Okay. You've got to do that. You must go there and go and sleep outside the door of the person who takes decisions. I'm happy until that is determination.